Durant could be the best player in the world today because they lead the Cavs 2-0 in a series. What do you make of it?
It's not even a hot topic to me. It's not even nothing that I'm got excited about. I told Paul Durant is definitely the best player in this series right now in these first two games, but don't dare say he's the best player in the world. LeBron is the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for a while now, and 2 games don't make KD the best player in the world. He's definitely the best player in this series right now, though.
Yeah. What is one thing? I mean, listen, he's a 7-footer that can shoot threes. But I always go back to this. 1 year ago, we were calling Durant Mr. Unreliable. We were saying he was passive-aggressive. We didn't like him because he didn't give Westbrook a heads up. What a play. Forget this series. What do players think about Kevin Durant, the guy, the player, before this series?
Well, me personally, I love the fact that he want to win. It's too many guys in the NBA now that don't care about playing, don't care about winning. All they care about is getting the check. And to see a star guy who knows he's going to make a lot of money, to want to win and to be on a winning team and to win the championship, I respect that. Like I said, I was one of those guys. I'm all about winning. I won in high school, championship in high school, overseas, and the NBA. I respect guys that want to win. And the move he made, you know, a lot of guys didn't like it. They said he jumped ship. He should have stayed in OKC and got a better player to come in and help him and Westbrook. Me personally, I would have stayed loyal. I would have stayed loyal to my organization, but I'm in a different situation. I was able to get a championship my 3rd year in the NBA, and I didn't have to worry about that. But he wants to win. He has a great chance to get an NBA championship, and as everybody look from the outside looking in, it looked like he did the right thing.
You know, listen, I like LeBron, but even I have some LeBron fatigue. He's been the primary story in the NBA now, Stephen, for 10 to 12 years. Could I make the argument to you?
Right.
It's just time for somebody else. Let's make Golden State the talking point of the league, and this is probably the perfect time to segue from LeBron-dominated NBA to a Warrior-dominated NBA, and I'm okay with that. How would that sit with you?
I'm okay with it, too. Hey, somebody has to dethrone LeBron. I mean, I was a part of the team that dethroned the Lakers, so somebody has to take it from him. And in Golden State, they're doing that right now. Nobody can just come in and say, okay, I'm the new face of the league. I'm the new star. LeBron's been that. He's been dominant for a long time. The only way somebody can take that from him is dethroning him, and the Warriors are on their way to doing that right now.
Yesterday, Chris Broussard came on the show, and he said, listen, if Cleveland loses in 4 or 5 games, you know LeBron's going to go to Dan Gilbert, or the GM's going to go to LeBron and say, all right, you got to get on the phone and get some guys here. Because LeBron's not going to be happy getting to the finals and then getting embarrassed by Golden State. And Golden State's young. They're not getting worse. They're getting better.
Right.
And then Chris Broussard yesterday said, I think LeBron needs to get on the phone with Paul George at Indiana, who has shown some interest in moving.
Nice.
If you were Paul George, you're going to be a Hall of Famer, and you got $100 million. Would you leave knowing that if you go to Cleveland, you can not only be rich and a Hall of Famer, you could be part of NBA lore and history? Do you think he'd leave?
I think he would, especially if the money's not a big difference. If he won't lose too much money going there, everything else is definitely entertaining. You get to play with LeBron, the best player in the world. You get to play on a team that's fighting for a championship every year. With him on Cleveland, they'll definitely be the best team in the East for the next 4 or 5 years, which they already are. I mean, they didn't have the number 1 seed this year, but they still are the best team in the East. And you know, I don't think they're too much worried about that. You saying that for the simple fact that get Paul George, they're going to be able to compete with the Warriors in that Western Conference. And that would be big. I think just thinking of that is exciting for me to see the Golden State Warriors going up against Cleveland Cavs team with LeBron James and Paul George and Kyrie Irving. That'll be something to see.
You know, Steven Jackson, 14 years in the league and a ring. There was a story yesterday that Vegas handicappers would take Golden State over the Bulls. But, you know, it's different times and different eras. What's the best team?
Right.
What's the best team in your career you ever faced? And why were they the best team you ever faced?
The best team I ever faced were the Lakers, Shaq and Kobe. They were just dominant. I mean, they had everything, I think, as far as the team-wise. Not only did they have two of the best players ever, but they had a team that bought in. You know, they were really solid all the way around, and they were dominant. I know I was part of the 2003 team that stopped their run, but the years before that, it was just trouble for any team I was on going in L.A., it was just hard to beat them, definitely in L.A., but Shaq was so dominant, and Kobe was the second coming of Michael Jordan. So every time I played against those guys, it was a tough matchup, and I love playing them, but they were just hard to beat.
Yeah, Steven Jackson, 14 years in the NBA. Do you give Cleveland any shot to come back? Two things jump out to me, Steven, in this series. Number one is Cleveland's bench looks overwhelmed when they're on the floor, and I don't think that's going to change. I think the speed off misses, the speed in which Golden State gets up the floor off a Cleveland miss, it's just a problem. It's an athletic, it's a length, it's a speed, it's a spacing issue. I don't see Cleveland solving that 4 times out of the next 6 games. I think it's Golden State series. Do you give Cleveland any shot here?
I give them a shot for the simple fact, 2 reasons. They got LeBron James as one. Second reason, they were able to come back from 3-1. Now, this is a totally different Golden State team. They have 2 MVPs now. They have Kevin Durant. It's a totally different team. But I give them a chance. When you're in the playoffs, you know, Hurt, 1 game at a time. If they can come and get this game 3, they're in a better position. If they can get game 4, they're going back 2-2. So really both teams just did what they were supposed to do and secure home court. I give them a shot just for the fact of what they did last year, and they have LeBron James. This Golden State team can be beat. LeBron has been dominant. You know, people are really not talking about how dominant he's been, even though in defeat he's still been dominant. So I think coming home will be a great thing for the Cavs. Their role players play better at home, and I agree with you. Their role players look like they are just satisfied with winning last year and don't even care about playing. They haven't been playing with a sense of urgency. They're not the hit first team that they were last year. They were real physical last year. Golden State, the physical team now. They look kind of scared of Golden State a little bit, especially in that first game. Yep. But some kind of way, the bench has to play well. But you know, LeBron is going to be the guy he is. Kyrie has to get back to his form, and Kevin Love has to be the all-star that he is too as well for them to win.
All right, Stephen. Good talking to you. Thanks for joining us from Cleveland.